Meeting to order. Glenn, would you please take the roll?
Yes. Chair Robin Beltramini.
Present.
Paul Hof.
Here.
Nicholas Vitale. Don't believe he's on. Mayor Ethan Baker, alternate.
Here.
Ellen Hoderick, alternate.
Here.
And Dan Hunter has retired from the county, and I have not received a replacement designation as of yet from the county. So, Madam Chair, we do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Resolution to conduct an electronic meeting. I need someone to make a resolution and second it so that we can go forward with this meeting. I won't read it because it is virtually the same small word changes as it was in October. So if someone would make that motion and second, I'd appreciate it. Paul, you're muted.
So move the motion. Thank you.
Thank you. I need a second. Ellen, Ethan, either of you interested?
Support.
Thank you, Ellen. All right. Paul has moved, Ellen has seconded that we conduct an electronic meeting. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. This is the annual meeting for the election of officers. We currently elect a chair. Glenn serves as the secretary. Last year we elected a vice chair just so that there would be someone to chair a meeting if the chair didn't show up. So I will entertain those nominations at this time. We want no leadership for the next year.
Move to keep the chair positions or the officers the same as the current year, if they're willing.
We don't know about, I think Nick is the vice chair at this point, but I am pretty sure that he's willing to continue, and I'll continue for this year, if that's okay.
That's terrific.
So we will elect Robin and Nick and verify that Glenn will serve as secretary. Does that suit everyone?
Yes.
All those in
Yes.
favor?
Aye.
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 Carries unanimously. We have new officers. Did anybody second that?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
I thought I missed it.
Well, I didn't, and our parliamentarian didn't catch it, and neither did I. So if someone feels we need to vote again, we can. If not, we're good. Thank you. Okay, and it's early in the day. The meeting minutes from October, did anybody find any corrections or additions?
No.
Public meetings require that we approve those or disapprove them. So once again, I need a motion.
I so move the motion to pass.
Approved.
Support.
Moved by Paul, seconded by Ellen, that we approve the minutes from the October 26, 2020 meeting. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, motion carries. There is no old business on the agenda. I tried to drum some up and could not. Can anyone else think of any old business? We will move on. New business, the budgets, the 2021-22 budget, and then the projections. Glenn, do you want to give some commentary on this?
Sure.
Thank you.
You will see the budget. Hopefully, you look through it. And that is for the year 21-22. And then as you can see, there are projections going forward as well. We have been very judicious and cautious on our budget estimations going forward. We are, as you can see here in terms of the property taxes that are coming in, going up a little bit, in 21, and then a little bit after that as well. But then beyond 22, 23, we're kind of taking a conservative approach in terms of estimating what kind of impact we'll be seeing from COVID and the goings on of the past year or so in terms of property values and taxes coming in. So, we shall see how that comes about as time progresses. So once again, we always tend here to do projections on a conservative approach going forward. The state revenue sharing, EMPP, is the kind of the reimbursement of the share of the personal property tax that the state reimburses to the city. And that is kind of leveling off, going forward, going down a little bit, actually, in terms of those projections. So that's kind of on the revenue side, as you can see how that is shaping up over the next few years. On the expense side, how we expend those revenues that are coming in through the property taxes. The primary, one of the primary expenditures that going forward is Automation Alley for operations, that we provide assistance for them on that. The actual payment to Automation Alley for 2020 for last year is listed here as 124,178. And we're going forward and projecting, going forward as well. Again, not increasing significantly, again, being conservative based upon those property taxes coming in. Infrastructure, that is to assist Automation Alley on infrastructure improvements on a program that they have begun. And we have made 2 payments already on that, phase 1 and phase 2. We expect a third as well coming up. So phase 1 was done in 2019, so prior to the program year that's listed here. And 63,631.22 was provided to Automation Alley. That was back in March of 2019. A second payment for phase 2 of parking lot improvements, and unfortunately probably did not suffice in terms of what was actually needed at Automation Alley, because they ran into some issues that they did not expect in terms of underground conditions for the parking lot. So those expenses shot up significantly, but obviously we are handcuffed in terms of what we can provide based upon the revenue that comes in. So we provided phase 2 assistance to Automation Alley in the amount of $75,264. And that is reflected as an estimate currently, because the program year is not done yet. And that's reflected there in 21 estimate. And then looking forward to the next year, there'll be some funds available for next year as well to assist in phase 3. So, definitely, as properties age, and the Automation Alley has been there for, some time now, although it certainly appears new on the outside, but obviously you got to work on upkeep, and that's, a big part of this in terms of assisting them with infrastructure improvements, parking lot enhancements, and making sure the operations are running. So a major part of why we are here as an LDFA and why we began the LDFA in the Smart Zone to make sure that Automation Alley is successful going forward. Tax tribunals, tax refunds, kind of not much there. Administrative services was kind of an annual thing that we sort of a blanket fee that is taken on that. Marketing costs, that is our membership to Automation Alley each year as a foundation member. At the amount of currently of $17,500 per year. That's reflected there as well as marketing. Then you have your general audit fees and others in terms of expenses. The bottom part, so captured, just goes into a little more details in terms of where these funds are coming from, and how, kind of the detailed calculations on where that is. And again, looking through that on the following pages as well. So going through where those revenues are coming from and how they're going out. So with that, Mark, I'm not sure you wanted to add anything, but we'd be happy to answer any questions.
No, Glenn, you did a good job.
Thanks.
Does anyone have any questions for Glenn? it does seem pretty straightforward and conservative enough, in all aspects. So, absent any discussion, we need to make a recommendation to council from this board to approve this budget as it stands. Did anyone have any questions about the projections? Because that will then become part of council's 3-year budget.
No, nothing here.
Okay. Does someone want to recommend this to council? Lori, I can make a motion, can't I? I will make this motion rather than having the council people have to make their own motion. I think that's kind of unfair. I would move that we recommend this budget as it was presented to us to go forward to council in the same manner.
And I second it.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion, opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right. Tom, thank you for staying with us. Tell us whatever you want to tell us, but please tell us about the parking lot. And after 15 years, I guess there are underlayment issues in Stonewall.
Well, first, Madam Chairwoman, Mayor Baker, thank you as always for the fantastic support that the city of Troy has always given us. Just the operations help you give us is very well needed, and we're very thankful for that. The parking lot funds are also, our parking lot was falling apart, as Glenn knows. He's been out here many, many times. The parking lot now looks great. We've done the first third, which is, right when you come in. We've now done the second third, and this year, with the help of the city of Troy, we will complete our parking lot by doing the back third. The second third, we had all kinds of flooding issues. So we had budgeted with the city for 60 grand. They came in at 128. So, but I know, what are you going to do? But hey, we're still very appreciative, and we were able to do the project. And at the same time, we put in an entirely new HVAC system in the building. So the facility should be secure for many, many, many years. And hopefully we can not have to, come back to the city of Troy for your help anytime soon in terms of the facility costs. Maybe we can, use that funding for other companies along the LDFA strip here that need some improvements. But if you'll indulge me, Madam Chairwoman, I'd like to bring you up to speed on just a couple projects that we're working on, and I think the committee here would like to hear about. Okay. So the first is, as you may or may not know, we were a recipient of federal CARES dollars through Oakland County. We administered a program of our own invention called Project Diamond. Project Diamond, we bought 3D production quality carbon fiber printers for 300 manufacturers between Macomb County and Oakland County. 50 in Macomb, 250 in Oakland County. And we were able to place all those printers within about a 6-month period. To give you some perspective, these are printers that can produce to the strength of steel and can produce actually finished goods that need very little, if any, machining after they're built. These are appropriate printers for the towns we live in, which is manufacturing based, and it's aerospace, auto, and defense. These are the kinds of printers that they need. Each printer all in with services is close to $50,000. The grant was $12 million, $10 million from Oakland County, $2 million from 1.7 actually from Macomb. And we've placed all of those printers out into the field. We have many, many, many of those printers. I'm sorry I don't have the exact number. I should have that. But we're placed in Troy, as right in our own neighborhood here. And we're very proud of that, because these printers, not only did we distribute them to sort of have small manufacturers. By the way, that's all who could qualify, are really small manufacturers. And almost all of them did not have printers before we gave them one. And all of them are being trained how to use this new digital technology. And this is critical. If you've ever heard me speak at any time, you'll know that how I lose sleep is because I don't believe our manufacturers, especially our little ones, actually understand how much digital change is coming to the way they work. And we need to make sure that they're well prepared and getting them printers that they can play with. And I want to share one anecdotal story. There's a company that buys stainless steel valves offshore, and they spend $100 per valve, and they buy a whole bunch of them, and they go on their machines. They've never had a 3D printer before, didn't know how to use one. We trained them up on how to use it. They now print a carbon fiber valve of their own design that performs better than the valve they were purchasing outside of the country. The valve outside was $99. I can't even begin to tell you, what does it cost to print this in their own factory? $1, $1. Carbon fiber exceeds, and by the way, they buy stainless steel because of the corrosive environment that they need, and the carbon fiber performs better than the stainless steel. So we just took that manufacturer's profit per valve that they put on a machine, basically almost 100% more profit, right? 99 to 1. And that's the kind of digital stuff we're talking about. So we're absolutely thrilled. This is going on in our communities now, not here and there, but to the tune of 300 small manufacturers. And we've stitched them all together on a network where they can all communicate with each other, they can share their parts, and they can actually use each other's printers so that all 300 can behave as one. So we can make 300 parts at a time. We believe it's the largest distributed manufacturing platform in the world today for 3D printing. Industry Week has written about us, on and on and on. Cranes has written about us, of course, but that's local. But we've had many stories written about us. The World Economic Forum, which we are one of their advanced manufacturing hubs, is doing a story on this. All to say that every day I try and bring honor and distinction to our community and what we're doing here. And I just wanted to share these stories of what we're doing, that Automation Alley is moving beyond a convener and to an organization that actually helps our smalls act and to actually do something and to participate in this new digital economy. Because what we see happening, the forces outside of our region digitally are very strong, and we don't think our region is paying enough attention. So we're working on Project Diamond. The last thing I'll tell you is Cynthia Hutchison, who is one of our vice presidents here at Automation Alley. She has been accepted as what they call a second D. And so she will be leaving us for 6 months and going to the World Economic Forum in Geneva, and we'll be making connections with manufacturers from all over the world. And our intent is to rope as many of them as we can back here into Michigan's community, and preferably right in Detroit next door to us. So lots of great things happening. I've always appreciated your support, especially when I was the new guy and couldn't find the washroom in the city building. But thanks for being with me. And we're really starting to see some really exciting things happening over at Automation Alley. And I'm very appreciative of all you guys have done for us.
I'm tickled to see that. I mean, I grew up downriver where lots of tool and die places live and still live to some extent, but that's their future, is that kind of manufacturing. And the statistics are it's smalls that build the economy. So I really appreciate that focus at this time. And I'm glad in any way we can help. Comments, questions for Tom? Mark, you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Tom, I just want to talk a little bit about the budget and get you thinking in the future. So this infrastructure line item for expenditures can only be spent on public infrastructure, and you're considered that. It can't go to other companies, other buildings. So in the future, you need to identify other public infrastructure type of projects, because if you don't, we'll shift it towards roads.
Well,
So
then
that you
I'll
know.
get very busy, Mark. Thank you. I will find many ways that we can figure out how to improve our public image with you together here at Automation Alley.
Just coordinate with Glenn, make sure that proposed expenditure is appropriate.
Glenn is awesome to work with. Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Ethan?
Ellen, so Ellen and I went up at the same time. Just a quick comment. I love the story of the 99-1. I think that's an amazing story, and I think that you're absolutely right that is the future of all of this, and I'm grateful to hear that story today. I also just want to say I love seeing that you're in an office building. It gives me some hope that there will be people back in the buildings and around us at some point. So I hope I hope you're being safe, obviously, but it is nice to see you in there. I appreciate knowing that there still is some need for going into the office. So thank you.
Well, we do work with the Defense Department as well. Automation Alley has a whole group of people that focus on defense work, marrying smalls with bigs in the defense world. And so we have to have a core group of people in the office, because to be compliant with the NIST standards, we have to log in from, we can't work from home. So we have to find that balance. We try and follow the governor's rules to the letter. And everybody asks me the same question. How are you able to be at the office? Including a lot of moms that have kids that would love to come into the office. And we say, no, you got to stay home. Only defense people can come in. But we thank you for that.
Ellen?
Tom, it was great to hear that update. I'm glad your parking lot is in order. It's a big deal. And I'm struck by the fact that I can remember many years ago, Ken Rogers coming into Delphi when I worked in community and government relations there. And Brooks Patterson had this crazy idea of, could we help contribute it? Would we get on board with helping launch this idea of Automation Alley? And to sit here today and hear this report out, the 99-1, and just the digital ideas. I mean, we couldn't conceive of where that original idea would go. But there was just this sense of, yes, this is what this region needs. And I'm really proud that it's in Troy, and I'm really proud of the partnership we have with you. So keep on keeping on, and your enthusiasm. It's just great to see it. And it's been so long that you've had to replace your HVAC. I mean, I can't believe that much time has gone past, right? And
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
It's just, but what Automation Alley evolved to become and is continuing to evolve, right? That's the whole trick to it, is to continue to watch, evolve, and help everything around in our region evolve with this new economy. It's just fascinating to contemplate, and I couldn't resist commenting. And, I know our city staff does a great job locking arms with you as well. Glenn, thank you for that. And is there anything else we can be doing or you need from the city, qualitatively, quantitatively, that would be helpful to you?
So, Madam Chair, if I might respond. So, Ellen, thank you for the kind words. And before Ken passed, I came in 2014 and became the CEO in 2016 when Ken retired. And he said, "Your job is to put the second story on this building." So I don't know if he meant physically or figuratively. So physically, I have to come back to you guys and ask for help. So that would be a great problem to have. But figuratively, I think we're doing that. And if you haven't heard, the state of Michigan just announced in October, so not that old, I guess, and with COVID, things are all compressed, that we are now Michigan's official Industry 4.0 Knowledge Center. And we are now tasked with educating all 12,000 manufacturers around the state on why they need to pay attention. And never in my career, and I'm getting at the end of my career, has there been more risk that is unknowable per se to manufacturing and to what we do as manufacturers. Now, never has been there more opportunity, because as you digitize, the productivity can become very, very strong. And I want to share one last thing, if I might, Madam Chairwoman, and that's when you hear the public talk about automation being a job killer, that's a nice, easy narrative for the press. They like to focus on that. Michigan lost all those jobs, not to automation in the 2000s. They lost them to China and Mexico because of the labor equation. When you automate and you can be much more productive, you can pay a high wage and still keep the work in Michigan. And we think we're on the cusp of a rebirth. And these are all the data that I see points to the ability for America to regain its footing in manufacturing for the very reason that Industry 4.0 is now available to us. And we all need to pay attention to that, because we think that we can actually really do well for Michigan, because Michigan never lost its manufacturing know-how. Even as China and Mexico decimated what we did in terms of labor, we never lost our know-how. And now we're at a position where we can recapture that know-how, but in a way that's much more productive. So we think that this is and the right thing to do at the right moment. And with your support, I think we'll be wildly successful. So that's, just continue to support this mission, because Michigan, 20% of our GDP comes from manufacturing, double just about any other state except other heavy manufacturing states like California. But we are so tied to manufacturing, it's in our DNA. Stop trying to diversify away from it and own it, and own it on the global stage, and good things will happen. And with that, I'll step off my soapbox too, because I know you're all believing the same thing.
Yes, we're happy to see it and hear it, and we're happy to see it in our own backyard. And as far as this board supporting Automation Alley, I don't have the challenges that I used to, that Ellen and Ethan have now, but I do know and can fairly well say the population here in Troy wants to see those 21st century jobs in Troy. And so as long as that can happen and we can assist that, I think you're pretty much the golden boy, you know? So I would hope the community would continue to support you, because you are that leader to make that happen here in our own backyard. And I appreciate your leadership on that.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate it, and the updates are always informational and just fun to hear. So, thank you. Board member comments.
Madam Chairwoman, and I extend an invitation to you and Mayor Baker and the other people here. If you ever want to come visit us, see all the new changes we've made, maybe have a meeting over here at some point if you ever could. I don't know what's possible. You're more than welcome. We'd love to show off just what an asset you have here in Troy.
Thank you. We'll figure out how to take you up on it. So, I appreciate the invitation. Thank you. Board member comment? Anybody have anything they feel duty bound to share? Okay. Public comment? Do we have anybody on the line that wants to talk?
Madam Chair, I have not received any public comment either by phone or by email.
Thank you. Therefore, at 3:59, a 29-minute meeting, the meeting will stand adjourned. And thank you all for your participation today. I appreciate it.